And I'm not just saying this to blow smoke up your very, very successful asses, but out of all the bands on the K-Rock little playlist, you guys are the most accessible. You guys go out of your way to bend over backwards to make sure that you really give back to the fans, and you always have since you were young guys, now to the point that you are international superstars. Has that become more of a burden now that you are such, big name acts?
I wouldn't say it's a burden. I mean, most of the people that we meet are actually really cool. But I'd say that there have been like a 0.02% of people who are just like so crazy weird that it makes you hate everybody for a minute. But honestly, all of our fans are great. We have the best fans in the world, hands down. Like Linkin Park fans are the best fans. When you're in a band and you think of the kind of fan base that you want as being in a band, fans that stick by you, that understand your creative motions throughout your career. Our fans are the best, like they love the heavy stuff, they love the poppier stuff, they love everything that we do, the hip hop, everything we do, and they support us 100%. And so when I say that we have the best fans in the world, it's absolutely true. There's no better fan than a Linkin Park fan, and they make what we do even better than sitting around hanging out by ourselves, making music, which is great. But going out and performing it to a crowd that knows every word to every song, even a song that's brand new, like when New Divide came out, we went and played it for the first time, our fans already knew the lyrics to the song. And it's just crazy. It's
at this point, as long as you guys have been successful, at this point, is that still put chills down your spine to look out into a crowd and see people singing your songs back to you?
Absolutely. It's the best feeling. I mean, that's what it's all about. I'm a fan of music. If I wasn't in a band here playing this show, I'd be here watching bands. I'd be singing along to all my favorite songs, and that's what it's about.
Speaking of which, thanks for taking this interview a little bit earlier than planned. People probably don't know that you guys agreed to meet with us a little bit early so that we can go over and check out Alice in Chains.
I didn't know why.
Yeah,
but when I said
that's part of it.
When I heard that the guys in Linkin Park are beckoning to me with their ravenous demands, sir, I submit.
Yeah. Thank you.
And
you're welcome to come over and watch with us.
I would like you guys to really take note, or really appreciate this, because I've seen it happen so many times before. For bands to get as even less successful as these guys are, and it's just so easy to kind of hide and shy away from the fans. And again, these guys, out of any band in the world, are just so great to their fans, and they really do make an effort to give back, and they've stayed so accessible and down to earth. So you should appreciate them for that.
Thank you. It's great.
Let's talk about Dead by Sunrise, though. Because that sounds like, what's funny about the Dead by Sunrise, speaking of this Alice in Chains stuff, I've heard from some people, and I feel the same way, that when you hear it, it sounds like Chester, but it also sounds different for some reason. And it's like he's just, it's almost like he's using his voice in a different way. Mike, did you feel that way when you heard it? Or
I did.
How did you feel?
Let me tell you what I thought of it. I thought that, though obviously vocally it sounds similar because you are the same person and you are using the same instrument.
Right.
The aggressiveness is a little bit more, it's a little heavier, it's a little bit more acute on Linkin Park records. It's to the point, whereas this seemed like a much more avant-garde venture. It seems like this is an alternative rock song, alternative rock act, and whereas Linkin Park is like I said, a much more edgier kind of percussive delivery. You seem to be a little bit more relaxed as far as how your demeanor was on the record.
I think that vocally, what I think the biggest difference is the harmonies and hearing how the different levels of harmonies and how I'm using my voice. I think kind of is something that hasn't really been. There aren't 4-part harmonies on Linkin Park records. Right. There aren't harmonies to the harmonies, and I think that's something that's different. So it kind of gives it more of a sung feel, and it's not Linkin Park, and I think that it was important for me. Nothing bothers me more than a band that has a singer that goes and does something different, and it sounds like the band he was in before. Then why bother?
Well, yeah, what's the point? You've already been massively successful.
And that's the reason why this record was made, was because these songs are different, and they aren't Linkin Park songs. And I do feel that they were good enough to put on a record and have people listen to it. And so that was important for me to kind of convey that through the album. And it's got this grungy kind of feel. It's got this poppy thing going on, and the combination of those two things, I think, makes it unique from what Linkin Park